Hi everyone, I'm Christine Jossi of Mail Something Pretty, and today I wanted to show you this really sweet little gift bag. I'm going to make it, this is right before Father's Day, so I'm going to have it kind of a masculine feel, but you can use any kind of paper and any kind of ribbon to have any type of theme, and it's really easy. It's just a half sheet of paper and some score lines, and then we're going to put it together. So I think you'll like it. So what I'm using is, I'm going to use this sheet of paper. Let me show you where I got that. So in the 2022-23 annual catalog, there's a suite called He's the Man. And this is the paper. So I'm going to use this little camping scene here. And then you can use your the coordinating stamp set to do the labels, but if you only have the paper, that's okay. You don't need the stamp set because, let me show you. 2 sheets of the paper are these pop-outs, and so you can decorate a whole bunch of cards and projects with these little die cuts, I guess they're called. So you get 2 sheets of the same. And so it's kind of fun. So if you only want the paper, you can really do quite a lot with just the paper. All right, so let me put that aside. All right, so I have, I cut my paper in half, so it's 12 inches wide by 6 inches deep. If you are doing, like this one didn't really matter so much because there is a pattern, but it wouldn't matter which way the pattern went. But if you were doing one like this that has a pattern, you want to make sure that the pattern goes like in the landscape position, because otherwise, you know, you don't want your bag to turn out this way. So just keep that in mind when you're cutting your paper. Just cut it so that you can see the whole the whole scene in the paper. I do have some other samples. This one obviously is not Father's Day. You have some flowers, and then this is another one. So how you get the tops here, it's actually the back side of the paper. So when you're looking for your patterns, just check the back side because that is going to be the top. Okay, so I have my 12 by 6. I'm going to score it. You can see this. I'm going to score kind of the long side or the landscape side at 4 1/4. I'm trying to put this where I can see it. Got my arm. Don't have my glasses on. Forgot them. So I think I'm good. So 4 1/4. 5 3/4. 10. And 11 1/2. Okay, and then you're going to flip it, and then you're going to do 1 1/2. Actually, you're going to. So this is actually important. So you can. I've actually already scored mine. So you can. The bottom wants to be the thicker part, so I would do it that way. How I have it. So when you flip it to score, you start with your bottom. So that's going to be 1 1/2. And then you're going to do 5 1/4. And the 5 1/4 gives it a 1/2 inch, and that's the part you're going to fold over. So if you started on that side, just start with a half, and then just make sure that's at 1 1/2 from the side. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to fold just on all my score lines, just to give them. I'm going to fold this way because I'm going to have it go this way. I'm actually feeling for them. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 score lines, and then the top one, and then you have that bottom one. Okay, and we're just going to do very little cutting. And my scissors are not here. So am I going to stop it? I'm going to stop, get the scissors. I'm going to get my glasses so I can see better. Hold on 1 second. Okay, that's better. I can see. I have my scissors. Okay, so we're gonna just make a couple little cuts. So this is my folded part, so that's my top. And on the bottom corner here, you have a little, just cut it, a little rectangle. So you're gonna cut that right off, right up to that score line. So we don't need that. That's the only piece we're cutting off. And then we're gonna cut on the bottom score lines here, just up to that score line. And sometimes it might be easier to see your lines better on the back side, so it's okay to cut either side. All right, so those are the only cuts that we're gonna do, okay? So now, actually, before I do that, I'm going to, you don't technically have to glue this down, but I think it just sits a little bit better. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue. Just a tiny little thin layer and fold that down. So it's important that you folded them, you did all your score lines before you glue this down. It will just make it easier to fold again on those score lines. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to flip this little thin piece over here, and I'm going to put glue on here, and then I'm going to just kind of close it like a book, you know, just closed. And so when that has the glue on it, you get it nice flat. So then when you open it up, you'll have a 90-degree corners rather than guessing. I find it's easier when I'm doing projects to do it like this, just to kind of close it instead of holding it in my hands. So just give that a second to connect. And then when we open it up, see how you have kind of your 90-degree angles. So then on the bottom, we're going to flip those two closed. I'm just going to add, this again is optional, but I'm just going to add a little bit of glue there. I'm going to flip one closed. And then I'm going to put some more glue here and here. And flip this one closed. And then I'm going to turn it upside down and put it on my table, put my cover on, and then use my glue to pat it down, kind of give that pressure. And then you have kind of a open-ended box, which we're going to turn into our little gift bag. And it's a good size. You can see the glue fits in here. I actually didn't measure it. So that's, what is that, 1.5 inches? I don't remember. I'll tell you. So, but a 4 1/4 by 1.5 inches box, and it is 4 inches deep. So it's a good size little box. Okay, so now I'm going to attach ribbon. I'm using, because this is a masculine bag, I'm using kind of more of a masculine color. They used to, I forgot to look, they used to have a beautiful early espresso ribbon. I don't know if they still do, but I'm using the denim because I think that looks nice, and it introduces kind of another color. And I'm going to use this as my ruler to cut. So I'm going to cut 11 inches, 2 pieces. One, and then I'll just use this. All right, so this one, and then we're going to, so this is what I discovered at club. This is actually a club project, and we discovered something that made it a little bit easier. This is really the only hole punch I have, and it's really old. It looks very bizarre, but it's very old. It is from Stampin' Up, but it has 2 different size hole punches, and it also did, remember we used to do those grommets, and what were they even called? You know, like first we used to bang them, the hammer with eyelets. So that's what this part does, but these 2 are hole punches. But the problem was when I did the hole punch, and it's actually nice because it squeezes, it's actually good on your wrist. When I did it for this one, I put it in and did my hole, I realized that the second part also did a hole unbeknownst to me. So how we are going to alleviate that, so if you have this, you can do it this way. If you have a regular hole punch, you can do 4 holes at once, or you can try, it is thick, so this one actually does do thick paper. So just figure out whatever kind of hole punch you have. So I kind of squeezed it together, and we're going to make sure that's not going anywhere. 2 holes at once. So that's what I loved about this one, because it does cut thick paper. But if you have a regular hole punch, just do 4 punches. And then what I did with my ribbon, I put it through and just made a knot. Pulled it back through, so the knot's going to be on the inside. And then just pull this through. Made a knot. And you can trim them if you want, or leave them. So that's one side. Or if you wanted to do one long one, so I would do like 24 inches, you can weave it all the way through, just knowing that you're going to have the ribbon going through the middle. But they sell bags like that too. And the last one. Okay, so then I have my bag, and the last thing I'm going to do is, I already stamped my little tag, so I did stamp it from the stamp set right here, and I colored it in, just I matched. It's a soft succulent blends, and I did a little orange surfboard, and I added the dies that go with this. Actually, I really like them, even if to use with other things. What I like is you get all these nice kind of label shapes in this set. So you get, these are all the label shapes you get in the set, which I really like. Oh, actually no, there's one more. So you really could get these dies even without the stamp set. And then you get, that makes 2 of those little pennant banners, and these ones do 2 of the kind of curved ones. And then you get 2 argyle pieces. So you really could use this as a standalone die set, or they all match the shapes of that one. So I'm just going to attach this with dimensionals. Oh, I did 2. I kind of glued 2 together to make it longer. And that was with my Night of Navy, kind of to match my ribbon. So I'm going to make sure that's my edge, so that's going to be my back. And there's my bag. Isn't that cute? Here's the other one. So that's kind of the masculine bags. But again, you can do any papers that you want, and you saw how easy they were to put together. So thank you very much for watching. I am Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty. Be sure to check out all my sites, my blog, my YouTube, my Facebook, Instagram. I'm trying to think what else there is. And you can get you can kind of get it to all of those, mailsomethingpretty.com/links. And be sure to sign up for my mailing list if you are not receiving my weekly emails. They go out on Tuesdays. And I just noticed, it's probably because I scored it with glasses, that is thicker. So let's see. So you can play with that score line if you want it a little thicker. I did 1.5 and 5 1/4. Yeah, so I did this one different. That's okay. It's just a thinner border. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt myself. Sign up for my weekly emails at mailsomethingpretty.com/signup. And that's on my blog too. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Okay, bye-bye.